Hamas armed wing will delay the release of more Israeli hostages planned for Saturday until further notice. The unexpected announcement comes amid growing doubts over an already fragile ceasefire, and also angered Israel.
אנחנו כולנו הזדעזענו מהמראות הקשים של חטופינו ששוחררו בשבת האחרונה. מי שאחראי על כך ישלם על כך. מי שפוגע בחטופינו דמו בראשו.
When the U.S. President Donald Trump received this news, he said if all the hostages held in Gaza are not returned by Saturday at noon, he would propose canceling the Israel-Hamas ceasefire and letting all hell break loose.
Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think a lot of them are dead. I think a lot of the hostages are dead. I think it's a great human tragedy what's happened, how people can be that mean to do.
The ceasefire has largely held since it began January 19th, although there have been some incidents where Palestinians have been killed by Israeli force. Worldwide News reports.
On February 10th, hundreds of protesters gathered outside the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau headquarters after new leadership directed the agency's staff to stay away from the office. The demonstrators voiced their concern over the potential dismantling of the agency, a key watchdog that has recovered billions in funds for wronged consumers.
Our work at the CFPB touches the lives of almost every American. We protect you if you have a bank account, a credit card. We are on the side of the American consumer. We are the only federal agency solely focused on protecting consumers in the financial marketplace.
Critics, including Senator Warren, say the CFPB has been vital in holding wrongdoers accountable, having secured $21 billion in repaid funds for consumers. She labeled the agency a weaponized bureaucracy and vowed to end its perceived overreach.
And I am here with you to fight for our Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The CFPB is the cop on the beat. And that cop is the one that caught the crooks and so far has made them give back $21 billion. This fight is about hardworking people versus the billionaires who want to squeeze more and more and more money out of them.
Russell Vought, the newly appointed acting director, ordered nearly 2,000 CFPB employees to stay home, halting all work-related tasks. Vought expressed his goal of abolishing the CFPB, a move supported by Republicans and the financial industry, who argue the agency has too much power. The shutdown coincides with tensions surrounding the agency's role in regulating industries like finance and tech, including Elon Musk's upcoming venture with Visa, which the CFPB would oversee. Worldwide News Report.
U.S. President Donald Trump on February 10 said he would announce plans to impose reciprocal tariffs on other countries over the next 2 days.
We'll be doing reciprocal over the next, I would say 2 days, don't you think? 2 days, yeah, maybe.
He also announced that a 25% tariff will be imposed on steel and aluminum.
Make a statement, and essentially this is another way of saying we're doing a 25% tariff on steel and aluminum.
Affected by this, gold prices continued their record rally on February 10 and broke through the key $2,900 level for the first time, as Trump's new tariff threats amplified trade war and inflation concerns. Bullion has already hit its 7th record high this year, driven by Trump's tariff threats, which have fueled uncertainty over global growth, trade wars, and high inflation, prompting investors to turn to gold as a safe haven asset. Analysts said gold has the potential to increase the value to around $3,250 or $3,500. Worldwide News reports.
U.S. President Donald Trump said on Monday his special envoy for Ukraine and Russia, Keith Kellogg, is going to Ukraine soon.
Yeah, he is. Keith Kellogg, General Kellogg is an excellent guy, and he's spending time doing various things. We have numerous people working on numerous different problems. You know what?
Zelensky echoed that members of Trump's team would visit Ukraine this week, marking an important moment in the ongoing diplomatic efforts. While Zelensky did not specify who would visit, he confirmed plans to meet U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance at the upcoming Munich Security Conference.
На цьому тижні будуть деякі люди із команди президента Трампа серйозні у нас в Україні до ще Мюнхенської конференції. Потім буде Мюнхенська конференція, у мене буде там ряд зустрічей із віце-президентом. Також будуть зустрічі із командою президента Трампа. І у моєї команди будуть окремі там зустрічі.
The visit comes as Russia continues to gain ground in eastern Ukraine, and Kyiv faces significant challenges, including a shortage of soldiers and concerns about future weapon supplies. Meanwhile, Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov stated that no agreement has been reached yet on high-level talks between Trump and Putin.
И раньше, и сейчас мы подчеркиваем, что каналы коммуникации существуют, они не закрыты, они находятся в рабочем состоянии. Другое дело, что у нас нет договоренностей о каких-то контактах на высшем уровне, на политическом уровне. Все это вполне возможно, и понятно, что с нашей стороны готовность и открытость в этом плане имеется, о чем президент России неоднократно говорил.
Ryabkov also emphasized the need to address the root causes of the conflict to reach a lasting solution. Worldwide News Report.
A consortium of investors led by billionaire Elon Musk is offering $97.4 billion to buy the non-profit that controls artificial intelligence startup OpenAI on February 10. Musk's attorney, Mark Toberoff, said he submitted the bid to OpenAI's board. Musk said, "It's time for OpenAI to return to the open-source, safety-focused force for good it once was. We will make sure that happens." Subsequently, OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, responded. He said, "No thank you, but we will buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want." Based on current AI trends, if OpenAI maintains steady growth over the next 5 years, its valuation will increase to $100 billion or even $150 billion. If OpenAI successfully monetizes artificial general intelligence or new breakthroughs, its valuation could exceed even the most optimistic projections. Worldwide News reports. Since returning to office last month, U.S. President Donald Trump has initiated numerous tariffs and made even more frequent threats to impose levies on imported goods. They range from broad ones, a universal tariff on foreign imported goods, to ones aimed at specific sectors, regions, or countries. Trump has floated the idea of 100% or greater tariffs on other vehicles, including potentially EVs. The automobile industry accounted for imports of more than $202 billion from Canada and Mexico combined in 2024. On Sunday, Trump said he was going to put tariffs on imports of all steel and aluminum. The U.S. is the world's largest aluminum importer. It has had a trade deficit in steel for a decade, with more than half of those volumes coming from Canada, Mexico, and Brazil. Pointing to Taiwan, Trump has said he wants to impose tariffs on imported computer chips. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, the world's largest contract chipmaker, makes semiconductors for Nvidia, Apple, and other U.S. clients. TSMC generated 70% of its revenue in 2024 from customers based in North America. Tariffs on pharmaceutical supplies including medications, which would be a change. Over the last few decades, pharmaceuticals have generally been exempt from tariffs. The threats have changed over time, ranging from small levies to ones exceeding 200%, leaving other nations and businesses unclear of what is to come next. Worldwide News Report. U.S. President Donald Trump and Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba held their first meeting last week in Washington. The two leaders expressed views opposing China's military actions in the South and East China Seas. They also called for maintaining peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait and voiced support for Taiwan's meaningful participation in international organizations. Asked about this, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Guo Jiakun accused it.
美日联合声明涉华的相关内容，公然干涉中国内政，攻击抹黑中国，渲染地区紧张局势，中方对此表示强烈不满和坚决反对。 中方已向美方和日方提出了严正交涉。
China's foreign ministry said it had complained to Japan over negative references to China. The leaders of Japan and the United States also that stern representations and strong dissatisfaction was conveyed by the Department of Asian Affairs Director General Liu Jinsong to the Japanese embassy in Beijing. Worldwide News reports.